And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at Bad Bones. Now, Bad Bones from Sit Down. Sit Down likes to make, I guess the best word is like they just make fun, silly games. Magic Maze, of course, being their big game, which was nominated for a Spiel des Jahres. Bad Bones is a tower defense game. Now, this isn't the first in this genre. There are a lot of games in this genre where you have stuff marching towards your tower. This one, though, is done in a very simple nature. We have a bunch of skeletons heading towards your tower, and you have to stop them. Basically, you're just trying to survive longer than the other players. Here's how it works. Each player is going to get their own board, and they're going to have some houses placed at the bottom. Now, players are going to have some traps that they're going to have here. In the basic game, you get some traps. In the advanced game, you'll start with some money, and you'll take turns buying all sorts of traps that can come in the game. You'll have all, different types of traps, and you can pick them. They each have a cost for them, and so you're going to try to pick the traps that will help you the most. You have a hero who looks like he just won a wrestling match from the 80s. He's here on top of 4 tower pieces. And you'll start with 4 different skeletons, one of each color, randomly chosen from the bag. So you're going to look here. You'll see this skeleton here has a blue arrow on it. That means he's going to start in a blue arrow. And he's facing this direction, so that's where he's going to go. One person is going to control this, and everyone's basically going to be taking turns at the same time. The first things players can do is they can move their hero 1 space in any direction. If that hero ever lands on a skeleton or a skeleton moves into the hero, boom, the skeletons are dead and thrown back into the bag. Then you can place a trap onto the board. So maybe I'll put a catapult here. Or you can remove a trap that you already have on the board. Then all the skeletons move. As you move the skeletons, you turn them over to the other color. So they started here as white, and you'll change into black to show that they've all moved, so you know which ones have moved. Again, if a skeleton moves into a hero, then the skeleton is thrown back in the bag. Now the skeletons are going to be moving on the board, and that's pretty much the end of that turn. Everyone then is going to draw 3 more skeletons from the bag. So I'll look here. I got a purple going this direction, so he goes up there. I got a green going down, so he goes there. And I got a blue going down, so that one goes there. So the same thing. So maybe I'll move this guy here on my first turn, which eliminates that skeleton. And then I decided that I'm going to place a wall here, like this. So now the skeletons move. This one comes down. This one's going that direction. This one comes down. This one lands on the catapult. And the catapult flings him away to someone else's board. I'll put it into their graveyard. Each person has a graveyard at the top of their board. And then on their next turn, they're going to have to, when they add the 3 skeletons, they'll have to add that one too. This one moves down. This one here hits the wall and is going to be boinged in this direction. Of course, don't forget when you are moving these, you have to flip them over to the other color. Now, when a skeleton hits one of these arrow spots, so this pink one, when he hits here, will eventually go down. Also, whenever a skeleton hits a trap, that trap is flipped over. If that trap is hit again, it's gone. You lose it forever. Of course, when it's damaged, you can pull it off the board as your action. Remember, you can place or remove a trap, and then it will be healed to put it down. But of course, you have to keep that from happening. If you make a skeleton move so that it goes into a forest, it will go to the person on your left or the right, or if it goes out that far, to anyone you want. If it comes out the bottom of your board, which these arrows are going to help make it do, it will destroy one of your houses and you'll flip it over. If it hits your tower, as is wont to happen, you'll lose a floor of your tower. When one person loses all the floors of their tower, or one person loses all their house pieces, the game is over. Players will get points for their houses that have not been destroyed, 4 points for each of these floors that have been destroyed. And whoever has the most points is going to be the winner of the game. So essentially you are trying to survive as much as you can. And your traps that survive also are worth points. So I mentioned there's different kinds of traps in this game. The dragon will push skeletons away. Some traps will slow them down. There's a portal trap. There's all different traps. There's one, boing, shoots them over one space to jump over an arrow. There's also like super bad, nasty skeletons that you can throw in the bag. You can also play with a weapon that when you kill 3 skeletons at the same time, goes off and you'll get some sort of special ability. And then you can also set up the whole board and play this one big giant cooperative game instead of playing basically to where the last man standing wins. You know, when I first saw this board, I thought it was kind of sparse. You know, even with these skeletons on, it doesn't look like a lot. But as time goes by and more skeletons, well, they're not going to be that, you know, scattered or all over the board. You're really glad for that because they're going to be moving around the board. The skeletons are great. This is a great bag, by the way. I don't normally talk about bags because they're usually not that good in games. Easy to fit my hand in. I wish the heroes looked a little different. Instead of being these pink pasty guys and they're all exactly the same. But we're kind of quibbling there. The board itself is a nice board. It's double-sided. Here you got one with 4 different towers on it. And all the different pieces are pretty easy. The rule books for the game come in 2 different rule books. A, which is just a very basic game. And then B basically says, now you know how to play. Here's how to draft stuff. And here's here's how to play the full cooperative version. And here's how the weird and evil skeletons work. It's very, very simple. So there you have it, Bad Bones, a simple tower defense game. Now, most of the time when I play these tower defense games, they feel a little bit more convoluted than they need to be. This one is extremely streamlined. And for that, I applaud it. Streamlining is good many times. I like this. Skeletons show up on your board, they move, you move, they move. I'm sorry, you move, you put a trap, they move, next turn. Boom, boom, boom-bitty boom. Very good. Most of the skeletons, you know, you can see where they come on. There's a big group. Should I head towards that group? You will eventually die. Like when you play the solo, you just try to survive for a while. The co-op game is okay. I like it, but I kind of like the competitive one because it's so fast. Is everyone's like, all right, move your skeletons, do this. Not a ton of interaction except sending the other skeletons, which, by the way, if you play with the special weird skeletons, there's one like the skeleton, what is it, the skeleton chief? Oh, the skeleton emperor. That if he hits your tower, you die. So you need to, and if you kill him, your hero dies, which is really bad. So instead you use a trap and catapult him to someone else's, and it just goes back and forth. Really nasty little guy. But it's very easy. You just move. And so you're sitting there, and at the beginning you start all kind of the same. But as time comes up, different skeletons are going to come in different spots. You're going to try to move your hero, obviously, to a spot where they can run into zombies, kill them, and then maybe have another skeleton hit them and die. And then use your traps. And do you put a trap down and use it? Then you pull it back, or do you let it sit there again and take out the zombies again? I keep saying zombies. Skeleton again. And then lose that trap forever? You know, tough little choices, but not hard. Kids could play this. It's very simple and easy to play, and you'll get a kick out of it because even if you do succumb, and if you're playing not the cooperative game, someone is going to, you probably have lost if you've succumbed, but maybe not, and the points, it's instantly over. No one's eliminated in the game, and up to that point, even if you succumb to the skeletons coming in, you've killed a lot of them. Your hero's running around killing a ton of them. Your traps are throwing other people. It's like a light, simple, little bit of take that, more maneuvering, trying to corral a bunch of skeletons, maybe get them all going the same direction. Then your hero just walks in and goes, hey guys, what's up? So silly fun, but I think it really works. The box might be the game like feels like it should be bigger than it is. It's a smaller game than this box would indicate, but it's about as enjoyable as you might think. Dice Tower Judgment approved.